अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। सूर्यश्च मामन्युश्च मन्युपतयश्च मन्युकृतेभ्यः पापेभ्यो रक्षन्ताम् यद्रात्र्या पापमकार्षम् मनसा वाचा हस्ताभ्याम् पद्भ्यामुदरेण शिष्णा रात्रिस्तदवलुम्पतो यत्किञ्च दुरितम् मयि इदमहं माममृतयो नो सूर्ये ज्योतिषि जुहोमि स्वाहा। आपः पुनन्तु पृथिवीं पृथिवी पूता पुनातु मां पुनन्तु ब्रह्मणस्पत् ब्रह्मपूता पुनातु मां यदुच्छिष्टमपोज्यं यद्वा दुश्चरितं मम सर्वं पुनन्तु मामापो सतां च प्रतिग्रहः स्वाहा। अग्निश्च मामन्युश्च मन्युपतयश्च मन्युकृतेभ्यः पापेभ्यो रक्षन्ताम् यदह्ना पापमकार्षम् मनसा वाचा हस्ताभ्याम् पद्भ्यामुदरेण शिष्णा अहस्तदवलुम्पत यत्किञ्च दुरितं मयि इदमहं माममृतयो नो सत्ये ज्योतिषि जुहोमि स्वाहा. So these are Sandhyavandana mantras called the Apam Prasana mantras. This is for the mantra snana. This is like, even though we'll have weight, but still it is kind of cleansing ourselves with the mantra, both for all the three, morning, afternoon, and evening. Interestingly, we're praying for anything we might have done wrong with our kaya, manasa, vacha, hastabhyam. Kaya, manasa, vacha, hastabhyam, udarena, even with our belly, shishna, our sex organs, any of those things. We have done anything, let it be cleansed. Afternoon, again, all of them. All my duscharitam. We will have created a history of sins between Madhyanika and Pratasandhya and Madhyanika in just a short 2-3 hours. We have history of sin. Let it be cleansed also. In the night, again, the same way. Just like in the morning, but we are asking, praying to Agni because there is no sun in the night. In the morning, we are praying for sun, Suryasta and Agnishta in the night. And then there it was Surya's Jyoti was, now it is Satya's Jyoti in the night. There is no light. So when my father taught me these mantras, I asked him, if you are doing this, where would be time for us to do any sin? So he said, don't worry, there will be plenty of time in between. So let's start the Gita. न्यस्तात्मीयपरं वरप्रदगुरौ वैराग्यभाग्यो दतौ वेदान्तामृतसारवन्तमनघात् श्रीश्रीनिवासाद्गुरोः श्रीशैलान्वयकौस्तुभस्य तनयं श्रेयो निधे श्रीनिधेः वन्दे साधुकटाक्षकेलिनिलयं श्रीकृष्णसद्देशिकम् गीतासु गीताकर्तव्या किमन्ये शास्त्रसङ्ग्रहैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्मात् विनिसृता मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्बसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम्. Before we go further, I think yesterday somebody, we cut them off. I think if they still have question, we can ask them. There is any.
Murli Krishna Bhatt, sir.
I think yesterday somebody had, I think we cut them off, right? At the end,
Yeah.
somebody.
I don't remember what was the question. I think I was going to ask if there are any current, what are they called? Jiva, whatever this.
Jivan Mukta.
Jivan Mukta. Are there any current examples of people that are Jivan Muktas that are alive?
I don't know. There probably are some. We may not know, unless they're popular. They have any kind of a brand. Otherwise, we will not know. So personally, I don't know. I think we are all Jivan Muktas for a few seconds every day when we are in deep sleep. Just a little bit, but I don't know really any. Anybody else may know, because I've seen a lot of people who act with disinterested, but they're diligently acting all the time. I had few colleagues in the in my company, but I don't think we can call them as Jivan Muktas in that sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jivan Mukta. I think Raj Bhushan yesterday, my friend asked, can it be reversible? Can it be transient? I think it can be when it is not real, fully in the Jivan Mukta state. We all go through a little bit. There are three kinds of vairagyams, right? Three kinds of vairagyam, they say. One is the abhava vairagyam, if something is not reachable to us. We are muktas for that. We don't really worry. I never felt that I should own a car in India. It didn't even come to my attention. I did not even a two-wheeler, only bike. So it never bothered me whether I own a car or not. So it was kind of it was immaterial to me. Although my friends were all, oh, that's Volkswagen, this is that is the Padmini, the yacht, and it never drew my attention. So that is kind of, that is abhava vairagyam. The other one is prasutika vairagyam. They say in the delivery room, women feel that we should not engage in this kind of activity anymore, but it goes away afterwards. The other one is what we call it as smashana vairagyam. Today I attended a funeral. That's why they say when you go to attend a funeral and look at that person, it is called charama darshanam, is also parama darshanam. At the end of a person, then you're really in a different state of mind. You feel that smashana vairagyam, it fades away once we come out of that. So that kind of transient things are there. This is more for what Raj Bhushan was asking. There's an anecdote with respect to Guru Nanak. Someone went to his home. They wanted to see Guru Nanak, but they told he was not there. You cannot see him today. If you want to see him, you can go in. He's gone to a funeral. You can go and see him there. But he said, I've never seen him before, so if I go to funeral, I may not know who he is. And they said, no, if you look at Guru Nanak, there will be a halo around his head. It will glow. You can easily see him. You should be able to find him out. So then he goes to the cremation area. A lot of people have assembled there. Maybe someone who died was very famous, or many were happy he's gone. Anyway, a lot of people were there. And everyone had a halo. And as long as they're inside the cremation ground, he looked at them, all are like that. All are enlightened here. But as they walked out at the cemetery, one after another, as they just exited, the halo was going away. Only on one person it stayed. So then he realized that was Guru Nanak. So we all go through the transient thing. So we'll go to the new shloka today. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamya rabaterjuna karmendriyai karma yogam asaktaha sa vishishyate. The one who, with mind is considered as the master of the senses, as the sixth sense. The
You have
one
to share your screen.
I think today we thought we'll do like this. Let us see. I didn't prepare to. We are just Shilpa and I talked, and she suggested we do like that.
Without any mantra on the screen?
No, I don't have any. No, I'm not screening any. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Then it's fine.
That's what we were thinking. But I can share for today, and then we can share the PDF with everybody, so everybody will have access to it. Today I can share, sir.
Yeah, you can share it. Shilpa said, my face is more beautiful than the verses. Yeah, that's good. I think to go to verse 7, 2 more verses, yeah. Yeah, Yastvindriyani manasa. The one who controls with the mind, using mind as the control, Niyamya controls it, and Arjuna, so Arjuna Arabhati. He engages in action after controlling the senses with his mind, and then engages the organs of work, karmendriya, karma yogam, in the detached action, asaktaha is unattached to it, then such a person is called superior, is by far the best. So he is a vishishyate, vishishyate. People excel when they discipline the senses with mind and engage in work without getting attached to results. We see this theme a lot in this chapter and also many other places. Is working without attachment. It refers to doing one's work, remaining detached from all the possible outcomes. Yasvindriyani manasa.
Yasvindriyani
manasa. Niyamyarabate Arjuna.
Niyamyarabate
Karmendriyai karmayogam.
Karmendriyai karmayogam.
Asaktasya vishishyate.
Asaktasya vishishyate.
So now he instructs here, Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam Karma Jyayohya Karmanaha Sarira Yatra Pichate Na Prasidhyeda Karmanaha. Says, do the prescribed obligatory Niyatam Karma Kuru. You should engage Niyatam, whatever is ordained, whatever you are supposed to do, you should do that. That is definitely karma jyayohya karmanaha. It is definitely superior than not remaining lazy or tardy. So why even forget about anything else, even sharira yatra pichate, sharira yatra pichate, your basic maintenance of your body, it is impossible without action. Not prasidhyete akarmanaha. So without action, even that is not by fear. Just lying around, we get bed sore, if you know that. So even for the basic functioning of our own body, we need to be working. So, Niyatam kuru karmatvam.
Niyatam kuru karmatvam.
Karma jyayohya karmanaha.
Karma jyayohya karmanaha.
Sharira yatra pichate.
Sharira yatra pichayate.
Just pichate, no pichayate. Sharira yatra pichate.
Sharira yatra pichayate.
Na prasidhyeda karmanaha.
Na prasidhyeda karmanaha.
So next slide says, Yajnartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha sadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. He says, here it says any activity which is done with selflessly. He here uses the word yajnarthan. Anything done like a yajna, he classifies doing act in that respect as selfless action. So anyone performing the sake of yajna, thus Arjuna, whenever you do that in this loka, I am karma bandhan, they will be not bound. Anything other than that, you will be bound. Only when you do with a sense of, without selfness, self of a sacrifice, in the spirit of yajna, other than that, you will always be bound by it. So Arjuna encouraged tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. The last line explains what he means by yajna. That is, act without any attachment. Samachara, act, mukta sangha, relieved from any kind of attachment. Therefore, act in that spirit of yajna. People are bound by their actions except when they are performed for the sake of yajna. Thus, Arjuna, do your work free from attachments in the spirit of yajna. So here, I don't think all yajna in the Vedas are described exactly like this, but here Krishna's definition of doing as a yajna is doing without any, as a spirit of sacrifice, rather than that, without any kind of, that is called, he calls it yajna. But I'm not sure because there are a lot of yajnas in the Vedas. Here is a slightly different definition where some are done. They're called ishtis. People have desired for something to come out of that. And so that may be slightly different. And as we know that one of the Srishti hymns or the creation hymns called Purusha Suktam, there the whole creation itself uses the yagna metaphor. In that one beautiful part comes, which is Saptasyasan paridayah trisapta saviha kritaha deva yajnam tanvanaha abhadnan purusham pasham. Here that cosmic Purusha, it's a metaphoric used as an animal, yagna pashu, and this yagna pashu is tied inside the altar. This altar has 7 boundaries, Saptasyasan paridayah, 7 boundaries. Then they did the yagna with Trisapta Samidha Kritaha, 21 summits. So 7 external perimeters where this Purusha was bound, that is the altar, yagna altar. And the fuel sticks, the summits were 21 fuel sticks. So here life itself is considered as a yagna. And D.V. Gundappa interprets it beautifully. He says that the 7 paridhi, the sapta paridaya, the 7 boundaries in which this Purusha was kept within that boundary, he calls those as the 5 elements, panchabhutas, day and night, saying that nobody can transcend panchabhuta and day and night. Right? That's what we are. Everyone living on earth are bound by that. And day and night is whether if you did not sleep all night, you will rest day. So it is like day and night is inevitably there. People say that you can live without food for 40 to 50 days, but you cannot live without sleep for more than few days. So we all have to go through that. Then he says that 21 fuel sticks with which burnt the whole thing for the to consume is the calls those 21 as 5 as our organs of work, and 5 as panchendriyas, 5 as karmendriyas, 5 as gnanendriyas, 5 as karmendriyas, organs of work, 5 senses, 10 and 5 breaths, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So 15, they become 5 plus 5 plus 5, 15. Then he calls the 4 antar chatushtayas, mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. That is become 19. And 2 is dharma and adharma. Anything we do is good or bad. So this is how we do this with our own abilities, right? We do not transcend this earth. We have to stay within the panchabhutas. And anything we do is based on our mana, buddhi, chitta, and ahankara. That's all our inner faculties. We don't see them, but which is with the act, using our organs of work and sense organs, and these mana, buddhi, inner faculties, and whatever we do is good or bad. So here, this kind of yagna, life itself is a yagna. So, but here he is specifically saying anything that is done with the spirit of sacrifice is yagna. So let's take that sense here. Anyway, that's what it is here. Yagnartha karmano nyatra.
Yajnatar karmano nyatra.
Lokoyam karma bandhanaha.
Lokoyam karma bandhanaha.
Tadartham karma kaunteya.
Tadartham karma kaunteya.
Mukta sangha samachara.
Mukta sangha samachara.
Okay, then he says it's our basic instinct itself is spirit of yagna, he says, because sahayagna praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadhvam eshavottvishta kamadhuk. He says the creator, Prajapati, he created the prajas with sahayagna, with the spirit of sacrifice, with a yagna bhava. And then he said, with this, Purovacha spoke, Prajapati spoke, you use this spirit with that you grow. You shall grow with that. Use your sense of spirit. Grow. May this grant you all your desires. When you act with the spirit of sacrifice, then you get more. Like a lot of people, they say, more you give, more you will get back. That kind of philosophy. So he's saying that we are all created with the sense of yajna. We all want to be useful. That is a natural human tendency. Even a child wants to help. Can I help you, mom? Help you, dad? Like we are doing something, child wants to help. When you were, of course, as kids, we were doing a lot of pranks. Then we are coming back, walking back from National High School or National Middle School, and we were just introduced to chemistry in the class in high school. So we heard the word chemistry, and chemistry in Kannada sounds like time history. What time is it? Chemistry means if someone didn't hear properly, they think time history. So what we do is while walking back from the school, there are so many people at that time, not so many cars. The greatest vehicle on the road was bicycle, and people are riding their bicycle. We just go and say chemistry. They'll say they kind of whatever they were doing, they distract their attention. Like they will tell. We get a kick out of it. We didn't even ask time, but they were so interested because they were watched. They felt a sense of sacrifice. They want to share it. So they will say, we say chemistry, this joke we were doing almost every day. Chemistry, and somebody really rushed and carrying bag and this and that. It doesn't matter. And they were still look at their watch and tell us the time. So, Sahayagna Praja Srishtva.
सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम्
अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम्
येषवोत्तिष्ठकामधुक्.
येषवोत्तिष्ठकामधुक्.
Kamaduk is, we say that Kamadhenu, that milch cow, which gives anything we want, all our desires. So let this become your Kamaduk, acting with a sense of sacrifice. All your, by that you grow, by that you prosper. Then he gives the example of how infrastructure works, how there is complementarity in nature. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreya paramavapsyata. He says that when you do this, all the devas here are kind of infrastructure today. We can tell all the Panchabhutas are also devas. Earth is a deva, air is a deva, everything. By this, with a sense of the sacrifice, when you nourish the devas, when we take care of this infrastructure, when we take care of the earth, when we take care of the wind around, air around us, energy source, everything, if we take care of it, they will reward you in return. If we nourish them, they will nourish us back. By nourishing one another, there is a mutual understanding between us and the infrastructure. We attain supreme good by doing like that. We have already realized that what a bad situation we are in because we neglected our atmosphere. We abused it, and global warming. Today it hit 105 in Mason. When we came out of the crematorium, it looked like it's not just a dead body. I was also getting into a funeral pyre. I felt like it was so hot. So this is the mutual understanding between the devas and us. When we serve them, by nourishing them, we'll attain supreme good. Devan bhavayatanena.
Devan bhavayatanena.
Te deva bhavayantu vaha.
Te deva bhavayantu vaha.
Parasparam bhavayantaha.
Parasparam bhavayantaha.
Shreya paramavapsyata.
श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यत.
Actually, in today's world, with all the other facilities we have created, we are a lot more devas. Our expressways are devas, our parks are devas, our streets are devas. So if we don't have a civic sense, it's only we are the only one who are going to hurt. You might have seen that there are a lot of parks in India where they put a cow guard so cows won't go in, and we have to go through those little things. There were stone things there, stone gate kind of thing. We can go in between that like a S wave, and lot of kids as a play they would spit on that. So when we put our hand on that, our hand will get dirty. This kind of lack of civic sense is actually bad for us. It doesn't do any good for people. If we don't take care of our surroundings, it will only haunt us. Okay? Then it's a beautiful verse here. Ishtan bhogan ivo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattana pradayebhyo yo bhunkte stena eva saha. It says, when you take care of all this infrastructure, the devas, we flourish from that. Ishtan, they grant us all the benefits. If you use the rightly, they grant us all the benefits. They are pleased with how well we took care of that. They fulfill our wishes. So one who enjoys without dasyante yajna bhavitaha, we just get all the benefits and we lack the sense of giving back. Whatever tairdattan apradayabhya, whatever they gave us, the infrastructure and whatever was there they gave us, if we don't give it back, if we just enjoy it ourselves without giving back anything in return, it is indeed thieves. Stena eva saha. That's kind of a behavior is if we just only exploit and did not pay back. That is the income tax, right? Income tax is there. If you don't pay it, only if you benefit, if you gain, you pay it. If I open a curry in a hurry or some restaurant, and if I make money because I was able to make because of infrastructure created there. Otherwise, how can people come to my restaurant? If I make profit, I should pay tax. If I did not pay tax, if I did not make profit, I can write it off if I was under loss. So any benefit I get, I should pay it back. That is, if we did not do that, we are nothing but thief. This is true for anything we enjoy. We go someplace, we enjoy, and we should protect that. We should support that. Otherwise, you are nothing but a thief. But who can be a bigger expert to call who is thief other than Krishna himself? He used to steal butter. He used to steal. The women are taking their bathing, and you steal their dress, saris, and put it on trees. So he is Kalla Krishna is also one of these adjectives for him. So he is really an expert, and he is defining who really is a thief, who really is a burglar. So I always tell people that if you go to gas station or restaurant, the break even for them is if you just got food there and you pay for the food, they have to run the operation. If everyone ate only food, meals, nothing else, it is a break even for them. They can't make any profit. Why in the world someone want to run they can just stay home. If they are going to spend $100,000 and get $100,000, what is the big deal? So what is giving them profit is the beverage. Like even a non-alcoholic beverage in a restaurant, like I don't know in India, here a glass of Coke will cost $4. You can get in a grocery store for $4 1 month supply of Coke. But in a restaurant, the beverages charge quite a bit. Of course, if it is a little bit of alcohol, it will be even more. So if we did not take any beverage, if we just drank the free water they gave. In Europe, of course, they don't even give you free water. then the restaurant will go out of business after a while. So that is because they provided you that structure, that was a convenience. We want them to survive. We don't want them to go out of business. So I always suggest people to take a beverage, even if you don't need beverage. I was also telling during Hari's workshop that when you are on a highway, because a lot of time I had to stop for the bio break, especially for someone like me, I had to take more bio breaks than for just fueling the car. I have to take for because I was telling as we grow old, our brain shrinks and prostate swells. So I had to stop more for bio break than for filling the gas. So if I have to stop for gas once in 5 hours, bio break once in 2 hours, when I go to gas station, I make sure I buy something. I just use their, of course, buying gas is just break even for them. If I go there, use their facility, buy something, either some candy or sometime espresso, cold coffee, which is actually bad because that makes me to go back again more often. Anyway, so I always do that to make sure that I'm supporting the system, even though they're not asking me to pay anything, because they provided that very important service. Ishthan bhogan hivo devaha.
An bhogan ivo deva
Dasyante yagnabhavitaha.
dasyante yajnabhavitaah
Tairdattana pradayebhyo.
tairdattan pradayebhyo
Yo bhunkte stena eva saha.
yo bhunkte tena eva saha.
It's also very, very interesting word. Yagnashishta santo uchyante sarvakilbishaihi unjate te tvagam papaha e pachanti atmakaranat e pachanti atmakaranat. The last line. E pachanti atmakaranat. So santas, the wise people, what they eat is Yagnashishta ashinaha. What is left of whatever is remnant after being offered to yajna. That is what bunjate, that's what they eat. They release that one. That remained after being offered to yajna. So by doing that, they are released from all evils. Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi. No evil, nothing negative, nothing bad when they do that. However, wicked ones who don't realize that, they eat, they prepare food for their own consumption, for their own sake, and indeed they live on sin alone. Bunjate te tvagam papaha e pachamti atmakarana. If they prepared food for their own sake, instead of eating the food that was offered in the yajna as a remnant. So in other words, offered in worship. After all, we are not doing any yajna today. That means it doesn't mean that we are eating only sin. So the thing is, whatever we eat, we should eat with a prasada bhava, like it's a prasada. In other words, eat the food with an attitude of gratitude, not with the ownership, with an attitude of gratitude. So the wise one eat the food that remains after being offered to yajna, thus they are released from all evils. Wicked ones prepare food for their own sake and indeed live on sin alone. So anything we do causes some injury to the world. So the way we pay back to that is by having a prasada bhava, having a sense of attitude of gratitude, not ownership. Even if you go and eat in a restaurant, we spend $10 or $5, we should not think, we should not have ownership, we should thank, we should have that feeling of attitude of gratitude when we consume food. Doesn't have to be only when we eat in the temple as prasada. Anything we take, we should eat it as prasada. In fact, my father never called it sadam. He always called it prasadam. Even while eating, sadam means rice or prasadam. He never used the word sadam. It's always prasadam after offered. And typically, as you know, in Indian original old style houses, the puja room will be very close to the kitchen, not like in the basement or upstairs. It will be the same level adjacent to the kitchen. That's what exactly we did in our house also. It was supposed to be a half bath. That's the typical American style. Half bath, half hallway bath near the kitchen. We asked them convert that into little puja room. Let's say there is something in front of us when we consume food. But you don't have to have a puja room. It's a mental attitude of gratitude. When we do that, that is called as the Hindu Shuddhi, according to Bhagavad Gita. It is just like every religion has a food purification. You have halal for Islam, kosher for Jewish people, for Christians it is grace, saying grace before eating. For Hindus it is Shuddhi. Ahara Shuddhi is eating with an attitude of gratitude. Actually, the traditional way of eating is we do the same as we offer Naivedyam to God, as we offer it the same way, Pranaya Swaha, Apanaya Swaha, Vyanaya Swaha, all those things we say when we're doing eating our own food also. So we do that. But you don't have to go through all those rituals. Just in our mind, anything we eat don't have ownership. Even if we eat anything that had fallen on its own accord, like have a lot of free ground cherry plants came. One time I had planted long time ago. I don't relish it too much, but it keeps coming back. So if it is in a convenient location, I leave it. And this is by nature, ground cherries, they drop to the ground on their own. Once they are ready, they drop to the ground. They come with a little husk like a fortune cookie. Then you open it and eat it. So even when I eat that kind of ground cherry, the plant itself was freebie. So I should have attitude of gratitude, not ownership. Oh, this is mine, like that. In fact, I make a joke sometimes, go to some party, some ladies claim that, oh, this parota or naan is not bought in Patel Brothers. I made it from scratch. Some people take pride in making pizza also from scratch. I made it from scratch, they say. Oh, that's very good, I tell them. But you can claim you made it from scratch only when you made this world. Then you can claim ownership. Yes, I made it from scratch. Otherwise, you're only using it is already dead. It's a beautiful verse. Yajna Shishta Sinasanto
Yajnashishtashinah santo
Muchyante Sarvakilbishaihi
muchyante sarvakilbishaihi
Bhunjate Te Tvagam Papaha
bhunjate te tvagam papa
Ye Pachantyatmakaranat.
ye pachantyatmakaranat.
Then it gives the cycle how these are connected. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat annasambhavaha yagnad bhavati parjanyo yagna karma samudbhavaha. He says that of course we are sustained by food. Annad bhavanti bhutani. That is the basic thing. Livings are sustained by food. Food itself comes from rain. Parjanya is rain. Annasambhavaha. Without rain, there won't be any food. Let's call it drought, right? Yeah. Then rain itself comes from yajna, the selfless act, that kind of activities create yajna. Then all these things, yajna itself is action. Yajna is born out of action, the right kind of action. They say that if some place is very fertile and raining, a nice rain and coming on timely basis, they say that some good people are living here. Like that is some kind of people living there. That's a kind of a feeling we get, a kind of belief. There is no proof for that. So, but here it gives a connection. When you have a lot of people say when they do yajna, it goes up and does something to the cloud and the rain will fall and things like that. But maybe some aspects of it may be there, but basically it says the connection is If you do good, if the society has a lot of good people, it will support that place. If the society is fully made of people who doesn't do anything good, that society is in a bad shape in general. So this is rain is basically rain is falls on everyone. It's nature is giving us, right? It's a selfless act of nature, and it is sustained. Natural cycle is sustained by selfless act. Perhaps that is what is implied in this verse. So if a lot of anything we do with lot of greed, lot of exploiting the soil or overfishing or doing anything, it basically causes damage. Annad bhavanti bhutani
Annad bhavanti bhutani
parjanyad anna sambhavaha
parjanya dhanna sambhavaha
yagnad bhavati parjanyo
yajnat bhavati parjanyo
yagna karma samudbhavam.
yajna karma samudbhavam.
As we learned in the Panchakosha, Anna Kosha is Annam Brahmeti Vyajana. Annam is also a Brahman Supreme. Annam and India, it comes many places in the Vedas. Annam and India, we should not abuse food. We should respect it. All those things. Karma Brahmodbhavam Vidhi Brahmakshara Samudbhavam Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma Nityam Yagne Pratishtitam. So this selfless action, here yajna is selfless action, right? Karma here talks about selfless work. Selfless action originates from the Brahman. Because anything Brahman does is selfless, which is the manifestation of the imperishable. Brahman is that. Therefore, all pervading Brahman always established in yajna. Act of Brahman, anything, if we also can become Brahman by supreme acting, by doing supreme work with selflessly. So that is the kind of becoming little Brahmans ourselves. Therefore, all the pervading Brahman is therefore, the all pervading Brahman is always established in yajna. Yajna is again here the selfless act. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi.
Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
brahmakshara samudbhavam
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
tasmat sarvagatam brahma
Nityam yagne pratishtitam.
nityam yagne pratishtitam.
Then it tells the importance of cycle of how this should be not interrupted, this kind of selfless act. Evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartayati havaha nanu vartayati havayaha aghayurindriya ramo mogham partasa jivati. So the whole life depends on this cycle. The wheel of life is thus set in motion. Evam pravartitam chakram. So when you know that, when we, those who indulge, aghayur indriya ramo, in sensual pleasures, that kind of people indulge only in sensual pleasures, they live in mind because they violate this natural order. So the cosmic order of the universe is rooted in principle of give and take, principle of, right? One who exploits or preoccupied only with sense gratification will be selfish, that kind of person, leading to violation of the natural order. This is one person can do a lot of damage, especially as you know, we have the telephone cycle, right? Sometimes when they have in the school system, I don't know whether they have it in India also. Here we are in a telephone call chain. Right? They say, oh, school won't be there today. They will call one person, 6 o'clock, school to start, or 7 o'clock. Today, because of bad weather, no school. So I am supposed to call another person. A person is supposed to call another person. It's a chain or a telephone. It's one person, oh, I got the information good enough. I won't call anybody. So if I stop that, nobody else gets that message. So the whole cycle is destroyed, disrupted. So only I knew I did not have to take my children to school. That's it. The next person won't know. So that is not good. Even in a simple thing like that, how it interrupts. And imagine that how everyone acted like that in every respect. It will be very bad. So, evam pravartitam chakram
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं
नानुवर्तयति हयः
नानुवर्तयति हयः
अघायुरिन्द्रियारामो
अघायुरिन्द्रियारामो
मोघं पार्थ स जीवति.
मोघं पार्थ स जीवति.
Okay, let us stop here. About 12 minutes. Any recap by Hari or any questions?
I think you had mentioned earlier about the importance of dharma in our culture. We see again and again this idea of sustainability, because dharma basically is something which supports or sustains. So all these, whatever we discussed today, is all about how it is sustainable. How can we sustain? And it's not so much about doing the right thing because you will get some award or certificate, or you will be identified as some good citizen or something. It is for our own sake we have to do it. It is not something like, oh, if we didn't inform somebody else, that one day may, like, you are saying this, information about the school, that one day you don't lose anything, other person loses, but over time your respectability in that group, in that network, will come down. You will be seen as somebody who shirks away from responsibility, and you will be kept out. So in that way, whatever we do, if it has to be sustainable, then we have to follow some of these ideas. So I think this is wonderful. I mean, this entire section, what the Prajapati section, is all about civic sense and basic, social discipline. Yeah, I think Ashok Kumarji had some question.
Verses 3.9 and 3.12, when I am looking at the translation of 3.12, I don't think it is intended, but it sounds like there's some contradiction there. What I meant was, when we look at 3.9, it talks about doing our work free from attachments. In the spirit of Yajna, that means selfless work. Then 3.12 says, pleased with your selfless service, the devas will fulfill your wishes. So if I already have a wish in doing my work, it doesn't become selfless, does it?
You mean to say you should not have a wish?
Well, that's what I thought I'm understanding, is we should be doing our work without expecting, without focusing on the results, right? Final result.
Without being attached to it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. Not that you make a paisam and don't drink it. It's not like that. You should not be bound by it. In terms of attachment, should not be there. Okay,
so regardless of what happens, don't reflect on either.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's what it is. Yeah. Otherwise,
it's almost like the young kids in the evening when they go to play on the street, cricket or football or something. The most important thing for them is to play 2-3 hours in the evening with their friends. How many runs is scored or how many goals are scored. Nobody keeps a tab. There is no referee. There is no question of any, statistician accompanying them or a physio. It's just for fun. So they don't really worry about who won or who lost, because they go back the next day and continue playing. So in that sense, when we are doing our work, by enjoying the process itself, then we will not, have attachment to the possible outcomes. But whatever action we do, there will be an outcome. And whatever outcome is there, we will enjoy the benefit of it, or we will take the blame for it. Either way, we are responsible for the outcome. But when we are doing the work, if we don't think about the outcome, then we have more possibility of doing the work better. So that's what he's saying here, that in the ninth shloka, he says, working without attachments to the possible outcome. However, whatever work we do, we are driven by some basic desire. So if we do it selflessly, if we do it without attachment, there is a greater chance of fulfilling our desires.
Okay.
The higher level is when you do something just for, like, people who have realized themselves, like wise people, they don't have any personal agenda. Then whatever they do is for loka sangraha, for the welfare of the world. Because personally, I have nothing. Okay, I will do for the larger good.
Basically, you should not be obsessed with the outcome. So don't have obsession.
Okay, thank you.
In fact, I think we talked in the very introductory class that one of our obligations is Devaruna. Devaruna is MasterCard, the way pay back by being good for goodness sake. That's part of the life. Do something good for goodness sake. So,
Atulji had a question, I think.
Okay, sorry, I need to unmute you. Namaskar. Hariji, I fully agree with you when you talk about sustainability. If we don't mind, I may add repeatability also. In today's environment, what happened? We are just running. Is it sustainable? Is it repeatable? We have a target of $1 million, $5 million, $1 billion, $10 million. Is it sustainable? Is it repeatable? So I think recently I learned sustainability and repeatability are pretty important for our life, whether it's a business or it's eating the food or walking, anything we do in our life, whether we are using all the Gyanendriya or Karmendriya, can we repeat the same thing, right? That should come in our mind. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Because the entire journey, if we see in the idea of dharma itself, is largely about how things can sustain. So sustainability at different levels, right? One is at the level of the individual, how an individual can sustain in health, for example. If every day I eat some Mysore pak, then it's not sustainable. I will get unwell. So I have to ensure that there is a rhythm in food. Similarly, in work, if I work 20 hours a day for 3 days, then another 3 days I'll be flat. So if we are able to create this thing for sustainability at different levels, so even as a company, as a organization, as a government, as a country, they're at different levels, it's very important. But when people don't have this realization and they want to make some quick money, then it won't sustain. That's all. Like, for example, I think there is a study. Anybody who has won a lottery invariably lands up broke. So it is not sustainable because they get sudden money, and either they start blowing it up or start giving bad loans to their friends. But within a very short time, they are worse off than they were before winning the lottery. So because it is not sustainable, suddenly you got it's like a sugar spike. So I think it's important to be sustainable. And that's the kind of leitmotif of Gita as well.
Thank you. I agree with you.
Yeah, if you don't have that balance, having this makes it worse than, like, some places when they found a lot of oil, the places became worse. They were okay without, they were not, they were poorer. There was something brought up by one of, all the way from Sweden. I think she listened to my present, she is not in the live meeting. Her name is Vaishali Kaushik Murali. She mentioned about a situation where this Korean kid, he has no sensations. So in a way, he has subdued all the senses without taking any effort. But it's not good, because you have to have sensations. Your senses are important. You cannot annihilate them. All the things about controlling the senses is not burning them away. We don't want to poke our eyes. We just see whatever you see, make sure it doesn't affect you. If you go blind, it doesn't. That's not what the idea is. So she was asking me, then if it controlling the senses to an extent that we lose all emotions, just like that that kid is born like that inherently. No, that's not the idea. That way comatose is being in a Brahmi stain is absolutely no sense, and that is not the idea. Idea is when you have these things nicely functioning in a good shape, but how you, because they are essential, all these senses are there for a reason. When you don't have, but how you manage them, that is what is important. Not that we should not live senselessly. That's not the idea. Although that particular child has a genetic kind of wiring, so that doesn't have any senses. That's not very good. That way, if you
if you don't have sensation, you won't know there's a gas leak. So,
so and also for us, we love sweets, right? Even if you're diabetic, we like to eat sweets. For example, cat doesn't taste sweet, so it has no. It's not a challenge for it at all. It doesn't have sweet receptors. We like hot food, or some people don't like hot. Chicken cannot see pepper as hot. So these are all naturally. It can eat the hottest pepper just like it thinks it is some grain without any taste. And a cat can, it doesn't care for sweet, but it still gets diabetes. That's a different problem. So that's not quelling the senses, it's controlling them. That's the idea. It's like a difference between nap and meditation. So that's what, because senses are important. Yeah, nowhere Gita said senses are not important. But how you manage them, because they are also good. It's a double-edged sword. If you don't, if you let it out of control, then it will drag you somewhere else. So you should be the master of it. Not being master is managing, not cutting it off altogether. So that is the idea of sense control.
Sir, one quick question. One new set of people might have received the link to this class. So I'm just sharing the WhatsApp group in the Zoom chat here. If you are not part of this WhatsApp group, please join. All the information about class or any holidays, any text that is shared will all be available in this WhatsApp group. Also in the group description of the WhatsApp group will be a link to the class recording. So, if you have not caught up on something, it's an opportunity to catch up on any of the sessions missed in the past. So that was one quick announcement I wanted to make. And another announcement is, since today is Thursday, we won't be having class tomorrow and day after. We meet again on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday also not there, because Sunday I'm attending a wedding. So Monday.
Sunday no class. So it's a 3-day long weekend for.
It's a Labor Day weekend here in America anyway. So so Sunday I have a wedding to attend. After a long time, somebody has invited me. I am attending more funerals than weddings, so this will be good.
Monday US, no, we will regroup.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Monday in US class will be there, but India Tuesday. So we can conclude here, I think. So Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhaveet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.